Hello, and thank you so much for having us, Folklife. In the program for this marvelous weekend celebration, the leaders of Northwest Folklife say they see the festival as building community in tough times. They say, in gathering, we embrace solidarity. That means standing together to be joyfully resilient, standing together against anything that makes us feel powerless or hopeless. They want us to feel called to action here. We in the Seattle Labor Chorus are entirely on board with embracing solidarity. To us, singing together in four-part harmony is solidarity. It is our power, and it's our reason to feel hopeful. Many of our songs are calls to action, and you will hear that today. The next song we're going to sing is an adaptation of a pop hit from 1972 by the late Johnny Nash. He made it about his hopes, his ability to see clearly how he could rise above things that were keeping him down. And you can hear his joy in the melody and feel the positive energy in the reggae vibe. We took the liberty of tweaking his lyrics to make it a song about our collective ability to see clearly what must be done if our society is to be a fairer one for all of us.
We can see clearly now what must be done. We can see all obstacles in our way. Gone is the fear that kept us down so long. We stand together now, every day and now. We stand together now, every day and now. We know we can make it now in unity. Our struggle for justice cannot fail. This is the time to right the wrongs we know and defend our right to live a much better way than done. Ooh, look all around how mighty we are. Ooh, look up ahead and follow our North Star. We can see clearly now what must be done. We can see all obstacles in our way. Gone is the fear that kept us down so long. We stand together now, every day and now. We stand together now, every day.
Our next song is Lives in the Balance, written by Jackson Browne in 1986. At that time, the United States government was propping up corrupt dictatorships in Central America by funding and arming anti-democracy proxies, while U.S. officials claimed to defend peace and democracy. It's an angry, forceful song, and Browne said about it, "I imply that the truth is kept from us on a regular basis. I flat out say the government lies." The good news is that Jackson Browne is still a passionate activist. The bad news is the song is just as relevant as when he wrote it 40 years ago. And the song we'll sing after that is I Cannot Sleep by Malvina Reynolds. She was a tireless activist and a prolific songwriter, who reportedly wrote a song every day before breakfast. She showed a deep, lifelong compassion for children, and I Cannot Sleep mourns for children who go hungry, a situation that has not changed enough since she introduced the song in 1977.
I've been waiting for something to happen, for a week or a month or a year, with the blood in the ink of the headlines and the sound of the crowd in my ear. You might ask what it takes to remember, when you know that you've seen it before, when government lies to a people, and the country is mired in war, and there's a shadow on the faces of the men who send the guns to the wars that are fought in places where their business interests run. On radio, talk shows, and TV, you hear one thing again and again, how the USA stands for freedom and will come to the